Welcome to another episode of Just As Cher Live. And tonight, I, of course, am excited. It's been a busy day. But tonight, we are talking about going beyond the basic advice. Because there's a lot of advice that you've been hearing. And it is tried, tested, and true advice. And just like I need to be taking my advice right now of remembering my timer. You guys know me. Come on. Give me a break. We know me, right? Anyways, here we go. So today we're going to be talking all about going beyond the basics with your digital presence as you build into that personal brand. And you've heard a lot of the advice, have a pro shot, like as a pro photo, the background, the headline, all that stuff. I know you know it. I know you've heard it. Whether you've done it or not is another question altogether. But today's advice is designed to help you go beyond the basics. Go beyond what you've already heard and start thinking more strategically. So I have six ways that I'm going to show you, or at least give you something to think about as we have these last 2 months in 2020 coming up. My gosh, can we have a plot twist in this 2020? Can we please? But sometimes it's about writing that plot twist. What do you want to create? And again, I'm going to be sharing 6 ways that you can go beyond the basic advice, things that you may or may not have been thinking about. Some of you probably, because you're regular watchers of the show, you've actually been thinking about this because I've been planting seeds here, there, and everywhere. But I wanted to give you one specific show where I'm giving you 6 things that you must get in place between now and the end of the year. And of course, you know me, I got something awesome for scroll stoppers. And if you don't know what a scroll stopper is, it is anything that makes my thumb stop. And what I do is I break it down and tell you why it works. So this one's pretty good. And this one is beyond easy as far as implementing it for yourself. And as well, it takes into account some of the new algorithm rules that I've been talking about over the last 2 weeks as well. And of course, in Tap That App 2-piece, I will be sharing another really cool lifetime deal. So if you're watching this live or on the replay pretty soon, you'll be able to take advantage of this. It's pretty dope. So I want you to check it out, especially if you are networking or building a business where you have to you have to book people in your calendar. And, there's things like Calendly. Well, this one is another option that I'm playing with right now, testing it out, see how it goes. But we'll get to there when we get to there. In the meantime, if we haven't met yet, my name is Cher Jones, and I am a corporate social media trainer that specializes in helping professionals, leaders, as well as entrepreneurs who serve corporate develop a powerful digital presence and teach them how to use social media at work for work. And I also work on helping people grow their digital presence into a personal brand. So super excited to talk to you guys tonight. And of course, in the meantime, while I'm checking to make sure I'm broadcasting and all that good stuff, are you guys Team Live or Team Replay? Let me know. Yes, it looks like I'm alive. I'm loving it. So let's see. Yes, I see Randall. I see Khadijah. I see Cheryl. Hello, David. Hello, Sunshine. Sunny Cher. Listen, this is my life. Okay. So Randall, it's great to see you. Hope Calvin is doing well as well. Rob, hey, how are you? And Yesenia, hello. And Bonnie Team Live, Jennifer Team Live, go my Team Livers. Nice to see you guys watching. I'm really excited. And Bijou, great to see you Team Live as well. And Darshan and Charmaine and Bola and Stephanie and Joy. Oh, Team Livers in the house tonight. Okay, guys, I've done my makeup today 3 times, okay? I had a session in the morning that I did, and then I did a keynote this afternoon. And then now I had to do it again. I need to be all fresh. Okay. So the makeup is popping today. Went with a little pop of red for this session. But anyways, you guys need to know that. Anyways, Team Live, I got to see all my Team Livers in the house. I appreciate you guys. And are you guys ready to really go beyond the basics? You've heard a lot of advice. You're going to hear it. And the reason why you constantly hear this advice is not knocking the advice, because I give it to people as well. It's going to drive me nuts. Okay. I give the advice all the time because that's where you need to start. But if you're ready for the level up, are y'all ready for this? And David, no problem. Oh, you guys go click on David's profile when you get a chance. So David Richards, see him in the comments. So he, so humble, but he was quoted in CNN for voting early. His name came up. Like as soon as you open the article, it came up. So go connect with David Richards. He's doing his part. He's getting in his vote, which is what we need to do. For those of you who can vote, make sure you can. And thank you, Lucic. I appreciate that. And thank you, Russ. I also appreciate that. Yes, beyond the basics, that's what I'm talking about, Cheryl. That's where I'm going to take you guys today as we jump in. So my question for you guys is, do you feel like you have gone beyond the basics with your brand? A lot of you have, because you've been watching, you're longtime watchers, you have been making those adjustments to your profile as you know, as I dole out the advice, you take action, which I love. So the question for you now is, do you feel like you are truly going beyond the basics when it comes to your brand? Because that's what we're going to be covering tonight. So yes or no, please let me know in the comments below. And if you are excited about this topic, can you show me some emoji love? Maybe a heart, maybe a thumbs up. This helps me out a lot because then the algorithm will love the show because you do. So let the algorithm know. And you know, I appreciate you guys more than you know. Good. Darshan's going to connect with David Richards. Karan, you're inside. Let's see. Oh, this is great. I love it. I love to see, more than anything else, I love to see the community happening inside the comments. So that is incredibly important. So, and I'm actually going to talk about that a little bit, I think. We'll see. But anyways, we're going beyond the basics today, and let me get started. What I want to know first and foremost, after you've, updated your picture, it looks like you, all that good stuff. Does your profile reflect you now? And here's what I mean by that. I talk about this a lot, so some of you already know this, but there's a lot of you who don't, or you haven't taken action on it. So the first thing I want to know is the way I look at profiles, because I don't very often work with job seekers, if at all. I usually send them to other people in my network who specialize in helping people find jobs. I work with the brand, how you show up every single day for work, when people are looking you up, they don't just want to know your title, and they don't just want to know what you did to get the job. What I want to know from you is when I read your profile, the top half, the branding half of the profile, does your profile clearly communicate your value now? Does it tell me, will it inform me? Will it inspire me and influence me based off of what I know your contribution is right now? And the reason why I find this is so important, especially a discussion on LinkedIn, is because we're so used to uploading our resumes and preparing our profiles for the job. And then when we get the job, you just update your profile with the new job title, and then you're good to go. But it doesn't reflect you now. And that is the question. Hey, Megan, team live in Australia. I was chatting with Megan at 5 a.m. in Australia, by the way, so she's been up for a while. But Joy's saying, not yet, but she's heading there with as far as how she feels her brand and her positioning is going beyond the basics. But that's the question I want you guys to really take a look at. I want you to pretend that you were somebody else looking you up because they wanted to find out more about what you do in your role, because that's usually why people look you up. So does it reflect you now? And, I can go along as far as how I work with my clients and let you guys know that it's like, I want to make sure that's in a service-centric way so that when I look you up, I know what you do now and how you help. So that's really important. And I think most people, I'll know your title now, but that's about it. The next thing that I want you to do while you are looking at what you do, making sure it reflects what you do now, because that's why people are looking you up. The next thing is, did you reframe your past experience? So within that, letting people know what you do now, your past experience gives you a very unique lens that nobody else has, because everybody has a journey to their role. You can have you can have 10 people that are titled senior business analyst, for example, or marketing executive, or D&I consultant, but your experience to get there. So again, this is for entrepreneurs, consultants, leaders, as well as all professionals. Your experience to get to your role now informs the way you do your job. And in fact, it allows you to position you individually in spite of the fact that there's, I'm sure, at least 1,000 people with the same title as you within your large geographic area. So what you need to then think about is how everything that you've done up until this point, how does it serve you? And then look at the most important pieces and make sure that you are communicating that. For example, I started my career in sports broadcasting, so working in live television. Look how it's working for me now, right? I also worked in marketing and then corporate communications. And so what I have are all these unique communications disciplines in that space, which inform how I serve my clients. Because there's a lot of people with the term personal branding coach, personal branding expert, all that stuff. But my way to get here is unlike anybody else I've worked with, so or know of. And we all have different paths to our way, but that experience frames us. So I want to make sure that you are reframing your past experience so that it boosts your current position. And so people know what you're leaning on as far as your expertise is concerned. Hope that makes sense so far. All right, Charmaine says, great pearl, Cher Jones. Thank you. Fantastic nuggets. Love it. Experience is what makes us unique. Bijou, I couldn't agree with you more. And that really is why it's so important that your profiles reflect you and you take the time in your about section to make sure it reflects you so that you look like your person that I want to work for or with or refer to somebody else. All right, so next thing is, did you stick the landing? And here's what I mean by that. When I land on your profile, are you leveraging the featured section? Because I'll be honest, not everybody is a content creator in the sense of the fact that not everybody wants to be creating content. And that's where I would say that's where the major difference between developing a credible digital presence, so when I look you up, I know what you do and how you serve, as opposed to personal branding, where it's like when that's people who want to really work and develop thought leadership and content and all that. That's where the divide sort of happens. But I still think that even if you have no interest in creating ongoing thought leadership, you should create 2 to 3 pieces, whether they're a video, whether it's an intro video, whether it is a blog post or a document, 3 pieces of solid content that reflect what's in here in the role you're in now. So when somebody's looking you up, again, this is for making sure that you are opportunity ready, opportunity to be referred into a project, a different role, referred to a client, referred to a partner, a sponsorship, whatever your goals are. You want to make sure that you have at least some, let's call it anchor content, that it gives me more than what you've just said about yourself. Now you're proving it by backing up with a few quality pieces that once in a while you update. Those of you who are actively building brands, that's where you can switch out your featured content and have other things that you're constantly creating and updating. But I'll tell you this, if you create what they call evergreen content, which is content that does not go stale, you can share it any time of year, it still matters. Try doing that, because now you're really sticking, you're landing like a gymnastics thing, you stick it, you got it, you're good. Woo! All right. Okay. So next point, do you have a target list? So I think this is incredibly important. And with my clients, I work with them all the time to make sure that they're creating their target list. And basically is you're looking at what you want to accomplish or looking at your role. Who do you need to make sure that is in your audience? Excuse me for one sec. Are you actively building a relationship with these people? So I want to make sure that you have a list of people that every day you can look at that list and maybe out of that list you touch 2 people. not physically, obviously, but you go, you check to see if they posted anything, or perhaps you send them a DM, and you'll cycle that list around over a month or so. And what that allows you to do is, one, the algorithm loves it because it recognizes that there is more of an intentional relationship, because you're going into their profile, you're going into the DMs, sending them a voice note, sending them a video, don't care. As long as you're staying top of mind. But what that will also make sure that you do as well is that you stay top of mind, meaning that you increase your visibility. So when you are doing other things with other people, your activity will be seen and heard. And it helps you to be more intentional when you're logging into the network. And I think that's the challenge with most people, is they're not as intentional as they should be. They know they should, but they haven't done all the work, especially point number 1 and 2. And so they need to make sure that they are being very specific. And let's see. I'm going to check in there, Bertina's Team Live. I get clients to stop treating their profiles like a resume and start treating them like their personal landing page. Exactly. And Megan's another expert, as well as Andy. Andy says, I have eggs and milk on my target list. Well, Andy, that's fine too. You can make sure you won't miss anything when you head out to Target. But either way, I know you have a list of people that you are regularly and actively engaged with as well. And Jamila, hey to everyone else that is just joining in right now. Bryn Tillman, hi, how are you? And let me see. Laura, thank you so much. She says solid as always. That is really good. Okay, guys. So the next thing that I want to talk to you about, are you working at least one strategy? Okay, so when I say one strategy, meaning I'm not even going to be prescriptive with a strategy. Do you show up, whether it's having a target list, that for example is a strategy, but are you showing up intentionally? Is there, for example, is there something specific that you want to accomplish? Say, for example, you want to become, even if it's just within your company, you want to become better known for an expertise. You're a subject matter expert, and you want to make sure that people know you're a subject matter expert. And so now you have to develop the strategy around that to make sure people know that you're that subject matter expert. Or for example, maybe you want to get more actively involved in a special project. And are you connecting with the right people? Again, this is all, the whole thing that I'm saying, I'm just pulling out random strategies here. But at the end of the day, what I want to make sure is that when you're not just showing up on LinkedIn and, la-di-da-di, you're going and you're commenting and all that good stuff. Like, that's all good. Please don't get me wrong. But when you start to think, when you start to think that you're doing something intentionally, when you have a plan for your brand, right? When you have a plan for your presence, a plan for your network, and you're working it, even if it's just one thing that you want to accomplish, and you build out a strategy for that. That's what I want to make sure that you have in place. It's not just, your strategy shouldn't be, quite honestly, just to show up credible and influential. Let's work it. You might as well, if you're doing the work, you might as well do the work and get the opportunities, right? And so that is something that I want to make sure that you guys are doing. And finally, I'm going to move my timer out of the way because it's not going to fit my last one. I couldn't not include this. I don't know why. I just think it's important, especially if you're creating content. Do you have a branded hashtag? It's something that I think it makes your content visible. In fact, what made me add that in today is I saw Andy, he posted a great list of things that you can do. And one thing that he was talking about is his hashtag. I think his is hashtag Andy does LinkedIn. And that kind of like, oh yeah, of course, because I always use hashtag just as Cher, because when you're thinking social media, when you think your personal branding, all I want you to think is, well, just as Cher. See where I'm going with that? But anyways, so again, I saw that so check out Andy's profile. He has a great tip sheet as well that he just published. So check that out. But yes, a branded hashtag. So that's tip number 6, right? I know, no one needs that damn timer. I know, but I'm trying. So those are my 6 tips, guys. So let me just quickly recap. Does your profile reflect your now? Because it has to. And make sure that in that reflection, you're also reframing your past experience based off of how it helps you now, what it informs you to do. Make sure you stick your landing. So when I get onto your profile, in addition to the basics, the picture, the headline, the cover photo, that you've taken advantage of the featured section where you're showing up with content, whether you want to be a regular content creator or not, but you're showing me more than just what's on the profile standard, right? And then next, you have a target list. Are you being very targeted and specific with the network that you're growing? Are you making sure that you are being intentional about engaging those people that you have identified as someone important in your strategy? Which brings me, do you have at least one strategy that you're working so that you can measure your progress and know that you're putting in time and effort to accomplish this? Because when you start tracking your results, the awesome thing is that you'll be so much more encouraged to even level up your game even more, because this stuff works if you do the work, right? And finally, do you have a branded hashtag for those, especially those who are creating content or going to be regular posting? You want to get that hashtag in there, encourage people to follow it, and all that good stuff. So I hope you guys found that helpful. And of course, you can let me know with some emoji love, because the algorithm loves it. And of course, when I watch this back and I see all those emojis flying, let me tell you how much I love it. It really does make me feel appreciated. And I thank you guys so much for always showing up and supporting. And yes, I see Pirates. Oh, Russ, so great to see you. Pirates in the house. Hunter, I don't have much past experiences, but I'm building it now. You know what? And I would challenge you, Hunter, even if you don't have a lot, there are things, everything you do now, you did something that informs how you do it. So even if it was, if it was something basic, you can still look for really the bridge here is the transferable skills. What do you take with what you used to do over to what you do now? So I would challenge that and just think hard about it, or be very cognizant. And even sometimes it may not be experiences, it could be passions. It could be collections, things that you've done. So I don't know a lot about your experience, but I'm telling you, there's ways to connect the dots, even if it is just passions. And I don't mean to diminish it. So that is what I got to say about that. And next up, guys, we are going straight into my scroll stopper. I thought I was doing so good on time, and then I looked at it, it's like 7 minutes left. But anyways, today's scroll stopper is brought to you by, let me just share the screen here, The Female Lead. This is a nonprofit organization management company with over 1,636,000 followers, right? And here's what I saw. So this was really cool, because what caught my attention first and foremost, so let's go to me for a second, because why not? So what caught my attention first and foremost was just the graphic image of the comparison, like the magazine cover versus real life. And I thought the story was really interesting, because it was like, it's called A Girl's Life. And this girl is, the girl on the left is so, makeuped out, her face looks awesome, everything is crazy, but it's like, the things that, you look at some of the headlines, it's like, your dream hair, wake up pretty, best year ever, fall fashion you'll love. And then on the other side is this young graphic designer named Catherine Young. She basically did her own version of Girl's Life and Girls Doing Good, Your Dream Career, Wake Up Hungry, the Power Foods. Anyways, it was a really nice comparison. So what they did is that caught me first and foremost, because I think that we can use industry examples where it's like, and we're seeing this a lot, especially in Instagram, like real life, the presented picture plus real life kind of thing. This is what it actually looks like. I think that we can look for opportunities from a professional lens to see how you can leverage this. So you can make that comparison. So it doesn't have to be a graphic design cover, but you can look at making those comparisons of, what they say it's going to look like as opposed to what it actually looks like. Those are always fascinating, and they do well just as far as engagement is concerned. The next thing is, for this particular option, it's a great way to show skills or share an opinion. So this young girl, Catherine Young, who was the graphic designer, she's showing her skills. Like, she did a really good job making this magazine cover. And so I thought that's really good. I've highlighted a scroll stopper in the past where someone remade a logo, a classic logo that we're so used to, and he did it on spec. He's just saying, I think that this logo needs to change. It's been like this forever, and here's me throwing in the gauntlet. And this, again, showcases his graphic design skills. So it's a great way, again, to show skills or an opinion. And here's where the algorithm rules come into play. So if you take a look at this, you'll see that it's a screenshot of the original article. So that's what they uploaded. So why this is smart strategy, if you want to share an article, what I suggest you do based off of the algorithm rules is take a screenshot of where you want to send people and post it as a picture. But there's more to this strategy, so I'm going to share what else you need to do. And the reason why we do that is because we know that sharing articles, we want to at least have an image, but if you share an article, the link kind of doesn't do as well, but there's new rules that tell us we can do otherwise. So take a screenshot, okay, of the article, and then you'll look, the copy on the right, they basically just quoted it directly from the article, right? And then finally, they added the link to the bottom. So there's a link. So read the full article here. So basically, all they're doing is sharing an article, but it counts as content and not a link out because they uploaded the screenshot to where you would land if you were in the article. And you notice I've added the asterisks and said that they added the link after it was posted. So right now, the rules or the algorithm based off of current research are saying that if you want to share a link, post your post without the link, and then come back in as soon as it's posted and edit it and drop the link in there. And that will still increase your reach a little bit more than in the past where we'd say, put the link in the comments. So this is the new way. So I'm teaching you ways to share something and get the maximum release, the maximum viewing based off of the article. So yes, I love how Lusik's like, love the female lead. Yes, they are awesome. Raul's watching for the first time. Thank you for joining. I created a branded hashtag. I use other hashtags for a while. People are loving my perspective. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate that. So I hope you found that helpful. And I'll go back in the comments after because I got 2 minutes left. So coming up next, tap that app. And speaking of hashtags, are you following my hashtag? You don't have to follow it right now this second, but when you get a chance, search the hashtag #JustAskSher and hit that follow button so you do not miss, or you're more likely not to miss an episode of mine or any other content that I put out there. So thank you guys so much for your support in that way. But let's talk about my app today. And you guys know I love a good LTD, lifetime deal. And so my favorite spot for finding those deals is on AppSumo. So appsumo.com, like the sumo wrestler, and app, like tap that app. Anyways, this app is, if you have ever used Calendly, or I currently use Acuity, but I just bought in for Zoom.ai, and it's another meeting scheduler. It works really well with all of the video schedulers, so Microsoft Teams, Skype, GoToMeeting, of course, Zoom, although they're not related, by the way. So Zoom.ai and Zoom.US. So our regular Zoom that we all know and love, or we have to love, they're not related, but This is a really intuitive scheduling platform. And on AppSumo, I bought 2 codes because if you start to read what you get with what, it was worth it for me for the 2 codes. And basically what it is, it's a scheduling link and a landing page. So as you're out there networking intentionally, because that's part of your strategy, right? And you want to build, you want to create conversations where someone can grab a time in your network to talk. Or if you're a service-based consultant, this is really helpful for you, and you want to build out time in your schedule where people can book a call. So I have a preview call where if you're thinking about working with me, I have a half an hour set aside that you can come talk to me about coaching, or speaking to me about training your team or speaking, for example. So I have something like that. I'm going to cheat the time for a second because y'all know. But anyways, it stresses me out when it goes red. But this is the reason why I'm bringing it up, I'm using it. I bought it. I'm using it right now. And I'm really liking the flow of it. And I love the fact that it's like one and done. So you pay like $100. I think one code is like $59. Anyways, you pay just over $100 and you have a lifetime scheduler. So no monthly payments. If that's your thing, it's definitely worth it. You can create scheduling rooms and has all these really great features. And on top of that, if you are a service-based provider, if you're a consultant and you want to charge for your time, there is payment capabilities built into that as well. So worth checking out. So if you are interested, it is at, the official site is zoom.ai. So if you're watching this months from now, that AppSumo deal will be gone. But if you are watching this pretty much live or within the next couple weeks, so we are now at the last week of October, go to appsumo.com and look for this deal. It is awesome. All right. So I'm going to jump in really quick just to see, hey, Anna, nice to see you. I saw you going live, I think. Let me come back. I saw you going live on Instagram today. I didn't get to check you out, but I saw that you went live, which is awesome. So I'm just checking right now in the phone just to see if I'm missing any comments, because I have the comment screen going up, but I don't see everything. So let's see here. So AppSumo is not the product. No, Liam. AppSumo is the website. So appsumo.com. Zoom.ai. Oh, sorry. I see what you're saying. Zoom.ai is an AppSumo product. It's featured on AppSumo right now, but it is so it's featured there. Go on there. It's worth it. They have some really good stuff right now. I'm also testing another video editing because I literally, my digital garage is disgusting. Okay, guys, I buy so much software, and that's why I love my Tap That App segment, because I do test it. And I'm testing some video stuff that I'll tell you about next week. Thanks, Lee, for checking in. I appreciate you showing the love there. I really do appreciate it. Oh, so Tony is saying, please bring back the intro challenge. Challenge accepted. I will do that. I want to do a new video because my old video has like all these people in it. Feels so weird. Feels so 2019. But anyways, yes, I will do that. And right, but it's Noah Keegan's product. Zoom.ai. So AppSumo for sure is Noah Keegan's company. I didn't do the research to know whether or not Zoom.ai is Noah Keegan's product. I'm not sure about that. So I can't answer that. And my background looks great. Thank you so much, Enrique. I appreciate that. So guys, do you have any other quick questions? Let's see. David says, I'm a ray of sunshine and I'm sending virtual hugs. You're the best. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Oh, I appreciate you. And yes, I love my tacos. Me and you both, Russ. You'll know if you guys become AppSumo people. Thank you, Marion. She's very first time session. Loving it. I appreciate you guys. So coming up next, I'm looking for ideas from you guys. Do you guys have any hot questions that you need answered that takes more than a quick Q&A? You want me to deep dive on a topic? Please let me know in the comments below. But I will be here next week, Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And of course, you guys know sharing is caring, right? If you've stuck out all the way through, all the way through to the end, that means you'll like what you heard. You learned something. So I would really appreciate it if you shared this with your network or in the DMs with somebody specific who needs to level up their brand and go well beyond the basics. So I appreciate you guys more than you know. And like I said, coming up next is based off of what I hear from you, or I'm sure I'll have an idea by next week. But thank you guys so much for watching. And of course, back episodes, you can find them on my YouTube channel. So if you're not subscribed over there and you wanted to check some of the topics that I've covered in the past, oh, that rude timer. Yes, I know, the time is up. Please go over to YouTube. But of course, in the meantime, thank you so much for watching, and I will definitely see you on the next episode, okay? Bye.